Welcome back, everyone.
Woo!
Well, the next episode of Tea Time. Yes, we're back.
Oh, we're back.
So, if you guys missed part one of this episode, you can find it up here somewhere. I'm sure it's going to pop up. Make sure you watch that before you watch this because, you got to get some context on what we're talking about.
Context. Doubly so, okay? Because I'm about to drop some tea on y'all, and if you didn't watch the first part of this saga we're doing, then get your butt over there and go check it out.
If you didn't watch the first part, you're not going to really understand why you need this tea in your life.
And that's the tea. It sounded really, I felt like I almost had a British accent there for a minute. That's the tea. Or no, that's a bad accent. So. That was a fail. That was a fail. Okay. That was a fail. All right. I'm in my Delulu era. I mean, I'm in my spooky era, but I'm also in my Delulu era.
We're really getting ready for Halloween.
I like the Burr months. I like the Burr months, and they make me happy. And if you guys don't know what the Burr months is, it's just a thing that we've been saying on like colloquially. I feel like it's just like the new language. So the Burr months are September, November, December. It's the Burr months because it's cooler, and we like our sweaters, and we like our pumpkin spice lattes. Then it's the peppermint mochas from Starbucks, but
Yeah, I'm not really a peppermint mocha kind of girl. I really don't like chocolate and mint mixed together. It's just not.
Oh, they got the gingerbread one too. That's also really good.
We don't do Starbucks in this household though.
Oh, but like just Starbucks has them, but like everywhere else does it better than Starbucks.
We a Tim Hortons household, okay?
But I thought Tim Hortons changed. Okay, you know what? We're about to get on a tangent.
Yeah, let's not.
I felt it edging up. All right.
Okay, let's get into it.
So let's dive into the tea for today, which is season 6 of Love is Blind. You guys can watch the show and all the other seasons on Netflix if you have a subscription. Season 6 was the most recent season that came out as of this moment that we are recording. I don't know if they're going to have another season coming out because they don't really announce it for a while, or maybe they announce it and I'm just out of the loop. I don't know. But season 6, as we kind of talked about previously, they are filmed in a lot of different cities. This one was filmed in Charlotte, North Carolina. Our key couples that were messy, to be clear, okay?
Sorry if we don't mention the others, but this is called tea time, people. Well, we need the tea.
There was only one couple that made it through the wedding, and they were unproblematic. We love them. I hope y'all are being happy. But our key couples who were the most problematic were Jimmy and Chelsea, Adie and Clay, Kenneth and Brittany, and Laura and Jeremy. Man, this season was so crazy. It was even worse than the one that was filmed on my city, because these awfuls,
yeah.
That's what we can call them instead of couples. These awfuls. These couples were awful, and I don't even understand why. But even like the side people that were not even like paired up from the pods were creating such a mess. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, let me explain what the show is about. So basically, you have these sets of women and these sets of men. They are living separately, and they meet through this, like, they're called pods, and there's a wall in between them, and they just talk to each other through the wall. And they basically try to find out, like, if any of the men interest them or any of the women interest them. They kind of narrow it down to, like, their key people. And then the guy or the girl, if she chooses, can choose to propose to the other person on the wall if they believe that's the person that they have most fallen in love with. So the whole entire point of Love is Blind is that you fall in love without seeing the person until after you propose, and then get to know each other in person. I forget how long the filming is, but I'm pretty sure it's short.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just like 6 weeks, isn't it?
It's not that long. And somehow they manage to fall in love through the wall. And sometimes these couples work out, and then other times they crash and burn in such a glorious manner.
Yeah. For me, I never make it past the pods.
Which is so funny because that is when the drama gets so crazy. It's after they leave the pods. I mean, there's drama before the pods, but then the after, oh my lord. Especially with this season, it was crazy. So what have you heard about this season? Because I know you haven't watched this one. What have you heard?
So I saw the whole the Megan Fox girl.
And we'll be straight about that.
That's the only thing I've
moment.
really That's the only thing I've really seen. So I'm going into this blind. I'm trying to get the tea too.
You're coming into this blind on Love is Blind. Okay, so I'm going to be straight with you. I absolutely hated Chelsea and Jimmy, and Chelsea was the one who made the comment about the Megan Fox. And the other couple I also absolutely hated was Jeremy and Laura. And I have my reasons for this, okay?
Okay, so why did you hate them as a couple?
Okay. Girl, first of all, these men, I don't know what kind of process they went through in choosing men for this season, but they were awful, okay? From the beginning, like after Jimmy proposed Chelsea, I mean, of course, everyone found Chelsea to just kind of be not so great because of her little comments. But Jimmy was yuck as soon as they exited the pods. I mean, to be honest, yes, him and Chelsea were like always disagreeing because they were having some miscommunication and Chelsea gets jealous, but then I kind of see why she got jealous, because Jimmy was not making her feel secure in the relationship. I mean, think about it. Someone proposes to you, and then after you get outside the pods, they're just kind of like more focused on like your qualities that they don't like about you. Of course, that's going to make a girl feel insecure and upset. So I do give some grace to Chelsea. I think with Jimmy though, like they were awful. And surprise, surprise, did they even make it to the altar? No, they broke up literally the last day before they were supposed to get married. And the way that they broke up was basically Chelsea didn't like, so he has friends that are girls, but she felt like he wasn't setting boundaries.
Instant red flag. If you guys will remember, we talked about green flags and red flags in the last tea time.
Yes.
And that's definitely a red flag.
Big time red flag. I mean, okay.
Are you okay with your husband having?
I mean, yes, I'm fine with it. It took me a while to get used to it, and I definitely think he needed to establish some boundaries. But he did, and that's because he cared about me.
Yeah.
Now, did Jimmy do that to his girl? No. Totally
it's
made
not giving
insecure.
boundaries, and I feel like I've heard about this.
Oh, and the worst part is
too, where they went clubbing, and it was something really shady going on. Like she had she was watching his location, like something about that. I heard about that part too.
The worst part was that that girl, that's his friend, his ex.
Oh no. We're talking about different things here now.
Oh yeah.
Like a platonic friend and a person you used to see romantically, not the same.
So the worst part is that this girl was someone he actually hooked up with in the past, which Chelsea exposed on camera because he didn't want anyone to know about his past with this girl because he wanted to protect her fantasy, not her fantasy,
her feelings.
Her feelings.
Yeah. Make it make sense. You protecting someone's feelings that you're not in a relationship with.
Yeah. No. If you propose to someone, that primary person, the person you have proposed to, should be the one that you care most about. Yes, that was his friend for a long time, but when it comes down to it, like but they've already
crossed the line into romantic territory, so.
And like, of course he's going to be uncomfortable about it. Like, imagine my husband had still been friends with someone he hooked up with. I would have had a big hell no to this, big hell no.
And anybody would.
Oh, anyone would. Of course, Chelsea had a lot of negative points, but I think Jimmy's more negative points were the issue. So Jeremy was crap. Oh, sorry. Jimmy was crap, but Jeremy, he threw me the most off. Honestly, I was not expecting him to be such an awful guy, okay? First off, so in the show, normally after the couples have some time together in their like vacational area, and And then the people from the pods will come, like the single people who didn't hook up with anyone will come on, and they'll all have like a big reunion and finally get to see everyone that they spoke to, right? So
Which
Jeremy,
is always drama.
Always drama. And this is also another point why I didn't like Jimmy, because Jimmy was talking to his other fling and go, oh, you're my most ideal woman, because he's judging on appearances, which is not the whole entire point of Love is Blind.
That they're talking to everybody, right? So they're having like one or two options, and then they pick one that they propose to, and then they see them. But then at this meeting, that's when they see number two, and they can see the visual.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So sometimes it's a lot of drama because now you're seeing what the person looks like, and we are creatures of habit.
Especially like
and
when
this is a social experiment as well.
Yeah. Especially when it was like a person like they felt so strongly for. So that was the issue. So anyways, so Jeremy's second girl was this girl named Sarah Ann. Okay. So at that little get together, him and Sarah Ann were basically talking crap about like everyone, about like how, because so Jeremy and Laura got into an argument the night before, and then he met up with her, told her about this. She pretty much was like, oh, well, you know, I'm not like her. I'm more fun, aren't I? And they like went off on a jet ski together, basically leaving his fiance there. I still don't understand what she was thinking for giving him for that.
Love makes you do crazy
She was
things.
in Delulu, I guess. But the part that really kind of just like made me just want to, you know, not one for violence over here, but he had me thinking violent thoughts. Okay. So I call Miss Sarah Ann Miss Snake, because that's what she was. She was a snake in the grass, and she was just she was not a girl's girl. Okay. She was not a girl's girl. Laura, girl's girl, right? Loved all the girls, was never like mean or facetious to anyone. Laura, 100%. Yeah. And Jeremy, I'm going to call him Mr. Snake, because he was just as awful as his Miss Snake. So I guess they're meant to be, okay? So after he met Laura's family, he decided to go off for drinks at a bar with his friends. And guess who was at the bar? It's Miss Snake, right? They said apparently it was not planned. I disagree. It sounds like it was 100% planned, because that's too much of a coincidence. And so then they decided to go off, and he drove her to her house because he's normally kept his location on his phone, and Laura checked his location at like 5 in the morning and saw where he was, which was like at that girl's address, until 6 in the morning, and they were talking in the car the whole time. Which, come on now, talking.
Suspicious.
So then Laura called him out for it, because he came in and was basically trying to lie about like what he was up to. She called him out, and course, that couple also did not make it to the altar.
Oh, I think this is the one that I was talking about, where she tracked his location and he was lying.
Yep, that was Laura and that was Jeremy. Honestly, trash. The other couples that didn't work out was Kenneth and Brittany, and I think they just kind of mutually agreed to just break up. AD and Clay, they made it to the altar, but Clay decided like he wasn't ready for marriage, which is like not the point of the show, is it not? Like
what
why
are we doing here?
If
the
you're
whole
not here
premise
to get married.
is to get married.
And I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting another couple that barely lasted outside of the pods. I just don't think it's worth mentioning. Basically, the guy was like couldn't talk very long to the girl, and so she was like, we can't be in a relationship if you can't talk. Yeah, that's a given. I would agree.
Communication is a big thing.
Yeah, it's a big thing. So for me, my end of this season was messy. Of course, I'm giving you all the summarized facts about what happened, but my gosh, if you guys have time, I really recommend watching it, because it was messy. It was so messy, especially that beach scene where they all met up with each other, where Miss Snake and Mr. Snake went off on that jet ski together. Like, yeah, I really recommend watching this season. It's a mess.
Maybe I may watch it after we get off of here.
It's so worth it. It's either the Seattle one, which was also really horrible, or this one, which was also equally as horrible.
Yeah.
I think the previous season 1, like season 5, not too bad. Season 4 and season 6, ooh, that's
I
a
heard the
mess.
UK one's pretty good
I
because
heard
that's
that
on
too.
currently.
I want to watch that one as well. All right, guys. Well, that was my little spiel about the gossip, the hot tea from my favorite reality TV show. If you guys have any reality TV shows that you guys would love to talk about or for us to check out and maybe recommend so we can get the hot gossip on that, we would love it. Please comment down below on any of our social medias, wherever you see this video. We thank you for joining us. I'm Ro.
I'm right now.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.